Are we trying to make money? Are we trying to make money, baby?
That's right. All right.
And then we'll have free picks to round up the show here today. So a very busy program for you here today. I'm Rob Fisher. Lang Whitaker is alongside. Hello, Lang. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I wore my Masters gear from last year. I'm surprised you don't have any Masters
I have
gear.
a hat.
Yeah, I would assume you have something.
Yeah, I have a hat, and I always forget. It's in the closet upstairs, because I'm like, oh, well, I'll only wear it really Masters time, and then I forget about it.
I got this hat last year.
And I couldn't wear a hat today.
I got this hat a year ago at the Masters. I went to the practice round.
That's right.
And a couple of people had asked me to buy them some merchandise because it's the only place you can get the official merchandise. And so toward the end of the day, I went in, started buying stuff. My son was with me, and he goes, "Hey, can I get a shirt?" Sure. Can I get a T-shirt? Sure. Can I get this ball marker? And you're thinking, well, when are we going to get back here,
it's
right?
A ball marker.
Yeah, like it's $10.
Yeah.
It's actually nothing's like crazy expensive, but it is, competitively priced. Buying everything. Go to the front thing to pay, and it was like $500 plus. And I turned to my son. I was like, "Do not say a word to mom about this." As soon as we get home, first thing, you should see how much Dad spent at the merchandise. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But
But you got good stuff.
It's worth it. Yeah.
And it's a one-time deal.
Got the minnow hat. I got
Yeah.
a half zip. I got a hoodie. I got a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
it was
All
good.
right. John Roser is here. Hello, John Roser.
I'm here. Hello, I'm John Roser.
Yes, Masters is something on you that you'd want to do. You wish you could go. You'd like to go.
Would I like to go to the Masters?
Yeah,
I'd love to go to the Masters.
Do you do
the lottery?
Do the lottery?
I try
thing?
every year.
You do?
Yeah, I'm not as lucky as Lang.
Yeah.
Haven't gotten
No.
there yet.
I tried every year. I missed 20 years in a row,
Yeah.
and then I got it.
Oh, no. I know. I've got a buddy who hit it
Yeah.
too one year, and he was like, he dead serious thought it was like one of those phishing emails, and he was
Yeah.
like afraid if he clicked something, it was going to like hack his computer. He couldn't believe it that he actually got selected.
I got lucky, but then I didn't even get actual master. I went to a practice round. I didn't even get tickets to one of the real rounds.
I've got a buddy who gets to go every year because his dad holds one of the.
Hush y'all.
I think it's on. No,
that's here.
That's here.
yeah.
It's one of the. I think it's either one of the pins on one of the holes, or he's one of the people in the fairway.
Yeah.
Like so, he gets to go every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's going to be passed on to him whenever
I
his
can
dad
say
decides
this
not to do
as someone
it, so.
who's wanted to go my whole life, and we watch it on TV every year. Like the expectations couldn't have been higher. It surpassed every expectation.
Yeah.
Really?
It was incredible.
It looks awesome.
It was awesome. It was
looks
like
so
Disney
cool.
Disney World for like sports fans. Like for adult sports fans.
Yeah.
Like it was just perfect.
CJ, where's Augusta on your bucket list?
It's somewhere. It is somewhere.
You'd
It's
like
one
to
of
go?
those- It's one of those cool things where even if you're somebody like me who doesn't really follow it, you know what Augusta is and you know its place in the sports Parthenon, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not into horse racing either, but if I could go to the Kentucky Derby, I'd be at the Derby, big ass hat and all. Same thing with Augusta. If I
I think
could
only the
walk
women wear the
around
hats
those.
at the
Yeah.
Derby.
Well, I got big hats, Lang. I'm gonna wear my hat to
No,
the damn
the-
Derby.
The Fascinators?
But you're exactly right. I mean, when you look at a place like Augusta or you look at Churchill Downs, although I'll say this about Churchill Downs, on Derby day only.
Yeah.
Because every other day it's just a trash
Yeah. all the other-
racetrack,
yeah.
like every other racetrack in America. But on Derby day, that or going into a Wrigley Field, or I had the
Yeah.
chance to go to Montreal Forum. I mean, places when you walk in, you just kind of hear the angels.
Yeah. I've
And
done
that's how it
regularly.
feels when you
Yankee
walk
Stadium
in.
feels like
Yeah.
that. There's a Madison Square Garden in some ways for
Fenway.
basketball. Yeah.
Madison Square Garden for sure.
Yeah.
Going there for that. Yeah. I mean, there are just places like that, and I imagine Augusta's being one of those places.
I mean, we parked. You have to walk forever, but parking's free.
It's good. Get your
all-
steps in.
There's all
lazy.
these people who like help you along the way. You get to the thing, and we kind of walked, and all of a sudden we popped out, and we were in the middle of the fifth fairway, and you're like, oh my gosh, we're here, and like the ground is like a carpet, like it's just perfect,
Right.
And we were like, oh, what are we gonna do? And the sixth hole is right next to the sixth hole is a par 3. And so we ended up going over behind the sixth hole, and we could sit behind the green. And there's a bunch of people who would, people come set out chairs early to have their spot for the day. So my son was like, can I go sit on the ground in front? And I was like, sure. So he goes over and sits down, and Tiger comes over and stands about 6 feet away from him and starts just chipping balls. Because it's the practice round. So the guys would throw out 20 balls
Right.
in practice from every angle. And Tiger's like 10 feet, 6 feet from my son. And I was like, are you kidding? So you can't take cameras, right? So you can't take phones. So I bought a Kodak disposable camera. I'm clicking on this stupid thing, and running the cardboard forward. Click. I got the pictures developed. They look like I took them with a pinhole camera on a shoebox. So they're terrible. But it sort of fits the vibe of Augusta because it feels like you kind of went back in time for a day, and the pictures are kind of cool in that way. I have a picture of me and my son, and it's so blurry you can barely tell who we are in front of Amen Corner. But you're like, all right, it's kind of what you signed up for.
Yeah, that's cool. I have some Masters facts.
All right.
For you guys.
I like Masters facts.
Some are just weird, and some are could help you with betting. At this point,
I have some too, actually.
Of the Masters. After Bubba Watson won in 2012, there was a patron by the name of Clayton Baker made a bad decision. He went by a sand trap and tried to scoop up a cup full of sand.
Oh,
yeah.
Because he wanted to give it to his son as a souvenir.
Sure.
He was arrested.
Yeah, that's tough.
Arrested for just taking some sand out of a bunker.
Well, they have all these signs. Or is that the end of the story or no?
No. Well, there was a legal case that eventually settled. Baker had to pay $20,000 in fees.
Wow. I've heard
for taking some sand.
Well, I've heard of the opposite.
Man, who would know that's against the law?
You imagine the local courts in that community don't mess around either with that golf course.
I've heard the other side of that where a lot of people bring ashes from dead relatives and scatter them on the course, because people want their ashes scattered there. They have all these signs like no autographs, and it's kind of cool because up by the 18th hole and the 9th hole are right next to each other, the greens. So they finish both ways, and that's where there's a giant tree and all the old buildings are right there. But the players come out through there, so you're kind of like walking amongst the players when you're up around there. So my son figured this out. So he went and hung out by the green on the 9th hole. They were finishing on 9. And the golfers would finish, and because it was practice day, there weren't a lot of kids there. So one golfer walked by, and like Sepp Straka walks by and throws my son a golf ball. And there's a sign, you can't ask for autographs. But nothing didn't. And the security guard's like, hey, the sign doesn't say anything about no asking for balls. You can ask for golf balls. So my son ended up with about 12 golf balls from all the guys competing. The coolest was Victor Hovland tossed him a ball, walked off, turned around, came back, asked for the ball back, took it and signed it himself, threw it back to him.
And your son was whisked off the course.
I had to pay $20,000 in legal damages to Augusta National as a result.
Tough.
This is the 89th Masters. Nearly 3/4 of green jackets have been won by golfers from the USA. 64 out of 88. Spain with 6 and South Africa have 5.
Well, that could change.
Oh.
3 of the top 4 at the leaderboard right now. The leader, busting on you hoes, Justin Rose, is 6 under par right now. He is obviously from England. Corey Connors at 4 under is from Canada. Scotty Scheffler, 4 under, is from America. And then also from England, Tyrrell Hatton, I believe. I got to make sure it's England and not Scotland. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure Tyrrell Hatton's from England.
I think so, too.
And he's always angry. Yeah, he's English. And then Aaron Rye behind him is also English. Rye was in the lead for a little bit, and then he fell off also.
So there you go.
And then Jason Dye is 2 under par, too.
And that comes to the next little fact. The last 7 major tournaments have been won by U.S. players. Last 7. Longest streak of major wins by the U.S. since the 1970s when they won 13 in a row from 1974 to 1987.
Last year, Xander, Bryson, and Scheffler won all 4 of them because Xander won 2 of them. Xander won the British and the PGA. Bryson won the U.S. Open, and Scotty won the Masters.
And then going back, you got Brooks Koepka, Wyndham Clark, and Brian Harmon. Wow, Brian Harmon. Remember that one. Scotty Scheffler aims to become the first golfer to win back-to-back Masters since Tiger in 2001, 2002. The only others to achieve the feat are Jack Nicklaus and Nick Faldo.
He freaking might.
So the stat I found that I liked was that 7 of the last 7 Masters winners, they found there's 7 different categories that they all had in common.
Okay.
Including top 30 in world golf ranking, top 15 in one of the last majors, all these different things. There's 5 golfers who meet the criteria: McIlroy, Matsuyama, Colin Morikawa, Shane Lowry, and Russell Henley. So I was actually kind of big on Morikawa coming into this. McElroy's been good for the last month or so.
He's won twice this year.
But he's never won at Augusta.
Always been his thing is winning at Augusta.
Yeah.
So I kind of went big on Morikawa and McElroy. And I actually I didn't do DeChambeau because he's always so wild, but he's been pretty good the last few months, and he's actually on the leaderboard.
Yeah, Bryson's been good. Bryson's been good today.
That's not a course.
Bryson was 2 under, then dropped a shot, then he picked it right back up, so he's back to 2 under.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a course.
Bryson's going to win this tournament eventually, and I don't know if it'll be this year, but he's going to win the tournament. He'll win the Masters.
It might be
eventually.
when he's older and he doesn't hit it so far.
He'll figure out
out
where you can, because there's some holes where it's like it tempts you. Like, yeah, you can do it. Go for it. You can go for it there. And Bryson's one of those. Like a lot of these guys are, they'll go for it, and then No, that was a mistake. That's a big mistake to do that.
I hit a patron.
That happened the last year Tiger won it was 2019 or 2020, whenever that was. 2019, yeah. It was coming down to the stretch, and it was Brooks Koepka, I think Tony Finau, Francisco Molinari, and there was all one of those amen corner holes, and it was, don't go for this. Lay up, don't go for it. And all of them, Molinari, Finau, Koepka, all went for it, and they all ended up either in the water or just with a terrible lie, and Tiger laid up on it. And, where all those guys bogey, he ends up, boom, taking his par and going on.
I saw this morning somebody hit it in the woods, and the announcers were like, sometimes you just got to take your medicine.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to save it, knock it out, and hook it onto the green with some crazy shot, just knock it out on the fairway, play it, try to get up and down and par or bogey and move on. And I think this is a course more than any other that you have to take your medicine sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah. Scotty Scheffler has been a top 10 finish in 12 of his last 18 major tournament appearances. That's more top 10s at majors than any other golfer since 2020. You said he's in 4th right now?
Yeah, he was tied for second.
Tied for second. Boy, so live betting him doesn't seem like that big of an advantage at this point, although maybe you want to get in now. Since the 2022 PGA Championship, Xander Schauffele has played in 11 major tournaments and has never finished outside the top 20. It includes a top 10 finish in 6 of the last 8 majors. Colin Morikawa, your guy, the only golfer other than Scotty Scheffler to have had a top 10 finish in each of the last 3 Masters tournaments.
Yeah, he's been good.
And since winning the Masters in 2020, Dustin Johnson has had twice as many missed cuts as top 10s in majors.
He's a disaster right
ever since he got the live money.
Yeah.
Haven't heard of him.
I mean, no.
Yeah. Well, we haven't heard of anybody in live, but he especially this season has been terrible.
Yeah.
He's ever since he joined live, he's the one where it does seem like it was a money grab, because he has not done anything since he joined. Like DeChambeau won the U.S. Open, so he's won. Koepka won the PGA Championship since he joined live. Rahm was bad last year, but he was injured. But then he finished strong. He finished tied for 7th. He had a top 10 finish at the British Open. So Joaquin Niemann has been good. He joined live. He's been fine. Hell, even Mickelson finished top 5 at the Masters one of the years that he, his first year on live.
Right.
Dustin Johnson has just been awful. It really does seem like he's I got paid.
Literally have forgotten about him.
Yeah, completely forgotten about him.
All right.
And he won this tournament, so he's got a lifetime exemption.
Yeah.
So
we'll see him.
We'll see him.
We'll take a break here on The Odds Couple. When we come back, we'll talk a little basketball.
Love hoops.
National championship from Monday. Also, the Grizzlies with the big one tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'll get more into the Masters. We got a big leaderboard thing coming up on the show a little bit later on, so we'll have that for you as well. Free picks at the end of the show and a whole bunch more. This is The Odds Couple. Keep it here on Grind City Media.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping. It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
Behind and back to Jared for the flush.
We're going to need, the Forum rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane 3, yes sir! Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second-chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Live from FedEx Forum, this is The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grinds. Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Odds Couple, the large program here on this Thursday afternoon. Don't forget about the Monday edition of the show, so you can get us twice a week at 2 o'clock right here on Grind City Media. So tune in for that. Mondays, we recap the weekend, and Thursdays here, we talk about what's happened so far the week and what's coming up this weekend. And next week on the show, it's a big special show because WrestleMania. Yes, WrestleMania is the featured attraction next week. So
John Cena.
Evil John Cena, that's right. So looking forward to that coming up next week here on the program. Since we last met on Monday, we did have the national championship in college basketball. Florida Gators outlasting the Houston Cougars to win the national championship. Other than the worst 3 possessions to end a basketball game, what'd you think of it?
You know what I realized later is like when the dude at the Houston guy at the end jumps and then drops the ball because he's about to get a shot block, he should have just grabbed the ball and taken the double dribble or whatever because the clock would have stopped. Instead, he drops the ball, boxes out, which is sort of smart, like maybe keep the other team from grabbing the ball and hope one of your teammates can grab it. But if he grabs the ball, you could foul after a shot, after a violation.
Yeah.
But I don't know. One of my buddies texted me and was like, said he was cheering for Houston. He said, Houston's an easy team to root for. And I said, yeah, but Florida's an easy team to root against. Maybe just because I went to Georgia. But I was kind of hoping Houston was going to pull it out. John Roser's been big on Houston for weeks now. And
yeah, I bet Florida in that game.
Boy.
I loved it. I bet Florida -1.
Okay.
I have Florida -1 in that game. It's crazy. I thought Houston looked like the better team the entire game.
Yeah.
Florida they got Clayton finally some good looks out of timeouts, a couple good looks out of timeouts in the second half, and
they figured out
they were
that
tough. They played tough, and they made plays in the end, and Houston turned the ball over, and I don't know. I don't know. Did Florida go and take it? Did Houston lose it?
I thought Florida figured out that horn set that worked, and they ran it about 6 plays in a row and actually kind of took the lead. But up until then, they couldn't get anything going.
No.
And I also thought, we don't want to talk about the officials, but in the first half, they were really physical. And then the second half, they called everything.
They called a ton.
Everybody was shooting free throws the whole second half, and that kind of changed the tenor of the game also.
Yeah.
CJ,
I'm with you on that.
What'd you take away from the game?
Both of those teams are really, really good, and somebody had to win. I thought the officiating was good, both halves. I felt like so many times we think, foul should be being called. Well, if you're shrinking in the moment, if you're shying away from physicality, foul shouldn't be called. And Florida in the first half was being dominated physically by Houston. They were frazzled. They're traveling because they're startled. Houston defenders are around them. They were shaken by the quickness and the physicality of the Houston defense in the first half. And then in the second half, Florida said, no, we're not going to back down. We're going to match your physicality. And when Florida decided to start matching the physicality, that's when you start seeing the fouls called, and that's the right way to play it. Just because I take your ball doesn't mean you got fouled. Yeah. Now, if I take your ball and you're trying to stop me from taking your ball, and I take it and I reach over you and I smack you on the arm or something like that, then yes, absolutely, that's a foul. You have to be a team that is as physical as the other team to get fouls called, and Florida did a much better job of that in the second half, and now they've got a championship to show for it. Tip of the cap to the Gators. And the SEC. National champion, 2 Final Four. How many of the Elite Eight? They had 7 of the Sweet 16, 4 or 5 of the Elite Eight.
I think 5 of the Elite Eight.
For most of the season, from like December on, we were like, oh no, the SEC is really, really good at basketball. And then the start of the tournament happened. They got off to a slower start, but the good teams in the SEC all rose and met the challenge. They were great all year long.
Yeah, I've been telling y'all it means more.
It just means more. I know you made that up, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they teach us that.
No, okay. NBA, the Memphis Grizzlies coming off a win against the Charlotte Hornets, so 124-100. The Grizzlies have won 3 straight games, all 3 on the road. There are 3 games now remaining in the season, starting with tonight, as the Grizzlies will take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. That game will be broadcast on TNT. You got the Timberwolves, and then at the Nuggets and the Dallas Mavericks, the 3 teams that are left on the schedule. Man, this is about the 5th night in a row that I've said this is the biggest game of the year.
Every game left is the biggest game. I wrote a thing it came out already. Today's Grind City Media newsletter. I wrote about the playoff.
Haven't read today's yet.
Yeah, it's hot off the presses.
Oh, okay.
I wrote it this morning based on what happened last night and all the different playoff possibilities and things that are out there. And I was looking, of all those teams in the Western Conference that are in the playoff mix, the Grizzlies have the hardest schedule remaining. The team with the easiest schedule remaining, the Minnesota Timberwolves, who play us, but then play the Brooklyn Nets and the Utah Jazz as their final 2 games. So the Grizzlies got their work cut out for them. I think if we win 2 of the 3, we might clinch the 6th spot of these last 3 games. But I'm not positive about that. And if it might just be you got to win all 3. It's also based on the other teams and how they perform down the stretch here.
Yeah, and tonight's is massive because you could basically, I would again,
put you
I would
1.5
because I don't know all the scenarios. You'd be 2 up on Minnesota.
I think 1.5, right?
2 because they're 1 full game back right now. So you'd be 2 up on Minnesota, and Minnesota basically, you have the tiebreaker with them as well. So I would assume you wouldn't finish lower than 7 at that point if you beat them tonight.
We're already 2-1 against them this year.
So tonight's huge because the tiebreaker with Minnesota as well. This is a massive one, and the Denver one's not going to be easy. Getting into Denver at 4 a.m. and playing at altitude tomorrow.
How far is it? Isn't it also that airport is forever?
It's 40 minutes from the hotel.
So you'll get in super late. I mean, you won't get in at 3 in the morning.
No, they are. He's on the plane.
Our itinerary says 3:55.
And then you have a 45-minute ride to
that's when we hotel check in.
Hotel check is 4 in the morning, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the game starts earlier than tonight's game starts.
Yes.
It's actually, there's less than 24 hours between the 2.
That's the most schedule loss of all schedule losses.
I mean, the commissioner who said at the beginning of the season, we will no longer have back-to-backs when games are on national television so we can preserve the guys for national television. They won't have a back-to-back before or after if it's a meaningful national television game. We've had to do it twice this year. So I guess our games just aren't meaningful.
The Grizzlies are 10-4 on back-to-backs this year.
Second nights, yeah. Been very good, very good.
I'm not going to hold my breath on the Friday one. Tonight's the one. They've got to get tonight, and they got to get Sunday.
The one thing about Denver is they just fired the coach. Yeah. Jamal Murray's supposed to come back tomorrow night for them, allegedly. He's missed the last 6 games.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I think that from what I was reading today, the one thing they've changed up is they're not as giving Russell Westbrook as much leeway as he had previously. And it seems like the players are responding to that a little bit, the other players on the team. So I don't know. Without Mike Malone, I'm sure it's a different vibe there. Maybe it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, tonight against Minnesota, tomorrow night against Denver, although it wouldn't matter what the team was. I would have zero expectations for that just because of what I've heard I've heard Scott Zachary, I've heard all of you that have traveled with the team what that second night of a back-to-back in Denver is like. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter how good you are. Doesn't matter when it is in the schedule. Like that second night of a back-to-back in Denver is hell. If they win it, that's awesome. But tonight, and I guess a little bit tomorrow night, but not as much, is like, okay, show me what you are. Because I have a belief of what I think the team is, what they are. Prove to me you're better than that.
Obviously, the teams they just beat.
And to anybody. You don't have to prove it to me, but, you know.
Detroit's a good team. You know, Miami's not.
Detroit,
Charlotte's not.
You can poke holes in Detroit.
But you got Detroit. So you got all three of them, and they are on the road. To me,
and they're Eastern Conference teams.
Winning on the road is great.
They're not good Eastern Conference.
Right. So what'd you learn from the team?
Charlotte, nothing. I learned nothing from Charlotte. I take nothing from that game. Miami, whatever. They're not that good either. Detroit.
They were out, but like Detroit didn't have their whole team either.
They didn't have Jalen Duren, and they had just clinched the night before their first playoffs in God knows how long. And they didn't apparently get back to Detroit until like 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They had Cade Cunningham.
There's holes you can poke
in
the
fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You know,
but you can poke holes in a lot of things. I mean, you could do this probably for a lot of teams' wins. If you go up and down their schedule and go through the circumstances, you could poke holes in a lot of teams' wins. So, look, they won the game, and Dez was awesome. And we talk about people who kill the Grizzlies. Dez kills the Pistons.
Dez was awesome, but like let's talk about Ja's been awesome the last 10 games, and Zach Edey's been incredible in the month of April.
They've got to figure out. This is a thing. They got to figure out how John and Jaren can be awesome together.
Yeah.
Because we were complaining for most of the season, what's going on with Ja, what's going on with Ja, what's going on with Ja. But Jaren was amazing. And ever since Ja has been back to being amazing, when's the last time you said, dude, Jaren was awesome tonight?
But Jaren's been in foul trouble in all these games.
Right. So it doesn't matter if you're in foul trouble or you're not in foul trouble. Like, why aren't you?
Yeah.
Like, you have to be, with the way this roster is and the injuries they have, Ja, Dez, and Jaren have to be awesome. And the front office with how they're designing these salaries, Ja, Dez, Jaren making all the money, those three guys are the guys, and they have to be.
Yeah.
They have to be awesome.
They're your big three by definition.
If you're banking on competing at a high level, they have to be.
Who starts tonight?
I always thought Vince, but
I think Vince.
Yeah.
Although Vince seemed to intimate that it might be Conchars. He said Conchar is going to play a lot. I don't know. At shoot-around this morning. But I think I would assume Vince. The other way you could go is Santi. Like they tried that earlier this year and have like a huge front line of Santi, Jaren, and Edey, especially with the way Edey's playing now. But I don't know. I would assume you have enough offense out there with Ja, Dez, and Jaren, and then Edey cleaning stuff up. Like you want like your defender out there, and maybe Vince slips into that role.
Yeah, I would think so. That'd be my guess as well. Grizzlies and the Timberwolves tonight. No other games tonight really affecting the standings in the Western Conference, but a lot of them tomorrow. Grizzlies will be in Denver, of course, to take on the Nuggets. Other ones have, let me see, where else? We got Minnesota is home tomorrow as they will take on Brooklyn. The Clippers are in Sacramento tomorrow. Golden State is in Portland tomorrow, and Houston visits the Lakers tomorrow. So all games that we'll be scoreboard watching tomorrow night as well.
It's interesting.
Because Houston played nobody last night.
Will they play guys against the Lakers to try to get the Lakers to drop out of that 3 spot? So you can then, to maybe if the Lakers finish 4th, we were talking about this on Chris Vernon's show, that maybe then Houston does that to get LA to drop to 4th. So you could avoid Lakers, Thunder. One of those will have knocked each other out by the time you could get to them. You only have to face one of them.
Yeah.
Or if you're maybe you don't play this lineup you've been playing, because Houston switched their starters a couple of games ago, and maybe they don't use this big lineup, so you kind of save it for the playoffs.
Head on a guillotine right now. Who comes out of the West?
Oklahoma City.
I say the Lakers.
I'll say Houston.
Okay. I would love that if Houston did. I love that Houston team. I do. I love how they play. They just beat the crap out of you.
I think that's the trick to playing the Thunder. It's like teams are figuring it out now. You just
the
beat
Lakers,
the crap out of the Thunder.
Freaking Luka owns them.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
CJ, head on a guillotine. Who comes out of the West?
Guillotine.
The best team.
Guillotine.
The
Name
best
the team.
Oh.
I have to name it?
Yeah.
I like to let the things sort of shake out.
You can change it. You're not going to be held to this. You can
No,
change
he is.
it.
His head's on a guillotine.
It is. Like, it's
just
no
for today.
It won't.
It could be. But when you answer it, your head's off the guillotine.
Oh, God.
Then we'll put it on another one next week.
Thunder.
Okay.
right.
There you go. My gosh, I was about to let go of the guillotine.
Who comes out of
let go of it? You were taking so damn long.
Who comes out of the East?
Celtics.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think we get Lakers Celtics.
I think the Celtics too. I'd prefer to say Cleveland, but
I want to say the Knicks, but they haven't beaten anybody good all year.
They're 0-9 against those teams.
I will say
Celtics. I just think are so. I think the Celtics are beatable, but I think to beat them 4 times would be very difficult.
For what?
They're gonna Indiana.
No.
I think Indiana.
No.
I think they'll beat Milwaukee in the first round. I think the Bucks are bad. So, I think they'll beat Milwaukee in the first round. And then Indiana-Cleveland could be a fun series. Halliburton's been awesome. Just saying.
All right. We'll take a break here on the Odds Couple. When we come back, we got a leaderboard from the Masters.
Leaderboard.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. We got that for you. Also, we'll discuss a little Major League Baseball. We got some fish nuggets. We got free picks before we get out of here today as well. It's all ahead. This is the Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With special guests 3 doors down. And Mammoth WVH. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Creed returns, the Summer of '99 tour.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the Odds Couple, the large program here on Thursday afternoon. Glad you are with us. We got some free picks coming up. We got a top 5 today as well. A big top 5 coming up here on the show. The top 5 NBA coaches who could be fired before Sunday. So that's our list here today on the show. Also, CJ will break down the UFL, I assume. Right. Yep. We'll break down the UFL.
Oh, steamboats.
Matt Showboat matchup of undefeated teams this week.
Oh shit!
2-0, 2-0.
2-0 teams.
Okay, all right. Look forward to that. All right, we got some fish nuggets coming up here as well. First, we got a leaderboard. I've been telling you about this great leaderboard all day. It's special here on Grind City Media. Lang Whitaker, what do we got?
Well, I thought Rose was going to do it. So there's a couple of guys who are in the clubhouse, but some players are still on the course. Justin Rose is in first place, 6 under. He's only done with 11, so he's still got like almost half a round to go. Tied for second are Connors and Scheffler. Tyrell Hatton is they're both 4 under. Hatton's in fourth place, 3 under. And then there's a bunch of people tied at 2 under and 1 under. Some names you might know: Harris English, Jason Day. McElroy's 2 under in that group.
Oh yeah, Rory just got the 2 under.
And Rory's only on the 8th hole. So
Matthew Fitzpatrick, former U.S. Open champ.
Who else? Fred Couples, 1 under, tied for 11th. Patrick Reed, former Masters champ, 1 under. So there's some interesting names in here.
Cameron Smith is 1 under.
Matsuyama and DeChambeau are both tied at 1 under, and they're both on the 7th hole, so they've still got a way to go.
Patrick Cantlay is also at 1 under.
Colin Morikawa, who was somebody we thought might have a big tournament, he finished his round. He's even. So he's 6
So
off.
you've seen some of these guys that have had big birdies, and then they've gone and they've also bogeyed a lot of holes. Morikawa is definitely one of those guys. DeChambeau has been one of those guys. He's got 1, 2, 3 birdies and 2 bogeys. So you got some of these guys that are kind of
two other names I've heard a lot this week. Xander Schauffele and Ludwig Oberg are both even through 8.
Schauffele plus 2,500 to win.
Yeah.
Morikawa, who you were talking about, is plus 4,000.
Yeah, that might be a good bet. The other guys who are interesting to watch, I think 2 guys who have been like sort of a disaster the last few weeks. Max Homa, he's even after 11. And then Victor Hovland was so bad like the last few weeks, and he did interviews where he talked about, I don't know where my swing is. I don't know what's going on. And then he won the tournament a couple weeks ago, like right after he talked about how his swing was a disaster.
He said it even after the tournament.
Yeah.
He said after he won, he said, I didn't even know where the ball was going.
Hovland's also even through 8 so far.
I don't know. I mean, I don't like how DeChambeau's hitting the ball like birdie, bogey, birdie, bogey. Like that kind of worries me. Like, are you steady? Cam Smith had 12 straight pars at one point today, and then he birdied 18.
Great putter.
Steady. And if Cam Smith can get hot with the putter, I don't know what those holes look like. Was he saving a bunch of stuff? Was the putter hot and he was hitting bad shots and he was saving it? Like he was just hitting some crazy putts because he can get rolling with the putter.
How about this? Cam Smith's never missed the cut at Augusta National.
Yeah.
He's plus 7,000 to win.
Yeah.
I saw Zalatoris this morning, and he looked pretty good. I don't know what he finished.
I'm not kidding. As long as Scotty Scheffler is up there at like 4 under, I'm not betting on anybody else to win this tournament. I wouldn't do it. I'd just start looking for guys to bet to finish top 20. But as long as Scheffler's going to be up there,
Zalatoris is 2 over.
I wouldn't. I'd just stay away from it. I'd just look for other things to bet. Yeah, I'd start parlaying some top 20
Can
guys.
you do Fred Couples to make the cut?
I'm sure it's not great odds anymore if he's 1 under.
Yeah. I think some of those 100 guys are going to get pushed down the board a little bit as this day goes along, because there's a lot of guys who are just on the 6th, 7th hole.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Your Masters leaderboard.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Major League Baseball, we are getting into it, and we got standings to look at, so we can actually judge who's doing well and who's not doing well as we look at the National League. Philadelphia Phillies are off to a really good start. What's happened to your Atlanta Braves, Lang?
It's a long season.
Yeah.
We still have 150 something games remaining. But the big problem is our best pitcher is hurt and our best field player is hurt. Ronald Acuna and Spencer Strider, both of them coming back soon. So,
well, that'll be good news.
We also had to start the season against the friggin' Dodgers and Padres, who are the 2 best teams in the National League.
And out on the West Coast,
road,
it's not
yeah,
that hard,
it's not
or
great.
not that easy. Dodgers surprisingly are in 3rd place.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Giants.
That's how good the Padres and the Giants are playing
the
right
Giants
now.
are a surprise.
Buster Posey getting it done in San Francisco.
Freaking Pablo Sandoval.
How about your Cardinals?
I just bought. I got the little $4 eBay purchase.
The Panda?
No.
Pablo Sandoval?
But it is Giants related.
Oh.
The 1994 starting lineup.
Barry Bonds?
New 94 edition of Barry Bonds. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, how about that?
They're not showing it.
Starting lineup of Barry Bonds.
Yeah,
All right.
starting lineup Barry Bonds.
Baseball's been very, very hard to bet thus far.
No teams are like
If you're you,
certain.
well, I've been amazing.
Have you?
I've never bet baseball in my life.
It's very difficult to do. As you look at the American League as well, the American League, the surprise might be the Houston Astros not playing very well. Seattle Mariners are terrible. Rangers will run away with that division. The Central Division is
The White Sox are the worst.
500 as it always is.
Aren't the Cubs awesome?
Cubs are
They're in
playing
first
very
place,
well. They're
but
in
they've
first
also
place.
played like 3 more games than everybody because they
Yeah.
played those games in Japan
Yeah.
to start the season.
Yeah, the Cubs should win the division.
Yeah.
They should be the best team in the Central Division. But baseball's been difficult because baseball's, a lot of it is betting on pitchers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what you're doing. And then you're giving a high money total for the favorites all the time. And then betting 1.5 or giving the 1.5 runs is always dangerous to do because of low scoring games. So you're betting on pitchers. And at this point, I just don't have a grasp on the pitchers just yet. Because it's so early in the season.
Chris Sale's been not
so it's
good.
it's been tough.
Like for the Braves, last year Cy Young winner, and he's 0-2 this year and hasn't looked like himself. And then people are like, well, remember last year his first 3 starts he was really bad too, and then he caught fire.
Right.
I think a lot of these guys are still trying to like kind of get into
It gets
the season.
it gets easier in May
Yeah.
than it does in April. All right, let's get some fish nuggets. How about that?
Bet on Schwellenbach for the Braves.
Yeah, bet on the Braves tonight. That's a baseball one for you. Nuggets, Michael Malone. He is out as the Denver Nuggets head coach. He now holds the record as the head coach fired in season with the most games at 79, tied with our old friend Hubie Brown. And also the most wins, 47, tied with Larry Brown in NBA history. So, yeah, congratulations to Michael Malone. Ivica Zubac joined Elton Brand as the only Clipper to total 20 and 5 in a game in the last 40 years. Elton Brand did it 3 times.
That's wild.
Elton Brand was pretty good.
You think Blake Griffin would just back up and get 5 assists in a game?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get 20 rebounds though.
That's a good point.
He was playing next to DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. This is also the first time since 1970-1971 that the NBA's all-time scoring record and the NHL's all-time goals record are both held by active players. How about that? In 1970-71, Gordie Howe was in his final season before his first retirement, and Wilt Chamberlain was playing for the Lakers.
How about that?
So, yeah, first time since 1970-71. Interesting. Monday was the first national championship game in which nobody scored 20 points, nobody grabbed 10 boards since Villanova's win over Georgetown in 1985.
What?
The very last game before the NCAA instituted a shot clock the next season.
And they instituted a 45-second shot clock, right?
yeah.
Wasn't it 45 seconds?
I think it was, yeah. Which was brutal.
Crazy.
It was just to stop North Carolina from doing the 4 corners.
Oh,
You know?
it was brutal. Houston became the first team in Division I history to play 40-plus games in a season and not suffer a defeat by more than 5 points.
Huh.
Yeah. 7 programs finished in the top 25 in both men's basketball and football, including the Memphis Tigers, who accomplished the feat for the first time.
Okay, well, hang on. Let's try to figure this out. I don't know who these are, so let's go. All right, we got Memphis. Do you have the list of them?
I don't.
I'll pull it up. Go ahead and guess, Ro.
All right,
How are you gonna pull it
Alabama,
up? Yeah, they got to be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Michigan.
Probably.
Finish ranked.
Oh, they might not have finished ranked.
Of what? Which one are you looking up, CJ? I'll do the other.
I'll look up men's basketball.
All right. Where's men's football? Here we go. Rankings, coaches polls.
Oh, Tennessee.
Tennessee, there you go.
Tennessee's in. So
Yeah, Tennessee's absolutely-
Tennessee, Alabama, Memphis. Did Michigan finish the year ranked? Michigan didn't finish the year ranked. did they?
No, not in football.
Okay.
What about Illinois?
Illinois is probably one, yeah.
No.
Really?
No to Illinois. No.
Illinois did not finish ranked in football?
And basketball.
Really?
Yeah.
They're pretty good. I don't see teams that could have. How many was it? 7?
7.
So we need 4 more.
Ole Miss?
No, they're not in football.
They are in basketball.
Then they are.
They
in
are.
football.
Yeah,
Ole
Yeah,
Miss.
so 4.
Howdy toddy.
Go SEC.
Yeah.
Indiana? Did they finish in basketball?
No.
Indiana wasn't ranked in basketball.
Nope.
Arizona State.
No.
Texas.
No.
Baylor?
No.
No, Baylor wasn't good in football.
Syracuse, South
What about
Carolina.
ACC teams?
I'm just looking. There's only 25 football AP
What about,
top 25.
what about the ACC teams?
Duke wasn't ranked in football.
Duke wasn't ranked
were
in
they?
football.
No.
Clemson.
There we go. Clemson is 5.
Clemson.
So that's 5.
Clemson.
Syracuse.
No.
No.
It's not Army. Not Missouri.
Who won the Big 12?
Missouri?
They're not ranked in
No.
basketball. They can't be.
No. Who won the Big
Missouri
12?
was ranked in football.
Was Georgia ranked
Missouri
in
might not
basketball?
have been ranked in basketball. Georgia wasn't ranked in basketball.
I don't
Georgia
think so.
barely made the tournament.
Who won the Big 12?
I don't know. Colorado.
All right, who was the other team?
Oh, Houston.
Who was the other team?
Arizona.
In football.
Texas Tech.
SMU.
Mormons.
BYU.
BYU.
Oh, is BYU ranked?
That is not a Big 12 team. I just don't count that.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, so that's 6.
So there's one more.
There's one more.
Here's the teams: Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon, Texas, Penn State,
Oregon?
No.
Georgia, Arizona State, Boise State, Tennessee, Indiana, Ole Miss, SMU, BYU, Clemson, Iowa State.
Iowa State. That's
Iowa
it.
State is it.
Iowa State.
There you go. Great job, everybody.
Figured it out.
Great job. Did a
Teamwork
good job
makes the
on
dream
that.
work.
Yeah.
Good work, everybody.
That made for great TV/podcast listening.
We'll take a break.
No, on that note, we're going to regroup.
When we come back, we got our top 5.
Not 5.
We
drink
got
some
our CJ's UFL breakdown.
Yeah, right.
And then we got free picks before we get out of here. This is The Odds Couple right here on Grind City Media.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's gonna be crazy. The fans are gonna be loud. We need just energy.
We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane 3, yes sir! Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Odds Couple, Thursday edition of the large program. With you today, here in our final segment. I want to remind everyone that we're back with you on Monday. Odds Couple each and every Monday as well from the more intimate studio.
Am I hosting that one by myself
Intimacy.
again?
I should be here.
You'll be here.
I should be here. I think. Yeah. I don't think we'll know. I don't think we'll leave by then.
Yeah.
To go anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's coming your way Monday. Also, we got the big warm-up show.
That's right.
Tonight it's the extra large warm-up show
Super
tonight.
size, we say.
Yeah, and you'll be on that with Michael Wallace
and John Roser
and I'm going to be on it as well. And looking forward to that.
If technology works.
Should be fine.
If technology works.
If technology works. Yeah, that'll be from 7:30 to 8:30?
7:30 to 8:30, yeah.
7:30 to 8:30, the warm-up show.
A big
tonight.
show.
Getting you set for the Grizzlies
for a
and
big
the
game.
Timberwolves. That's right, for
the
a big
biggest game.
Yes.
Well, the Grizzlies parted ways with Taylor Jenkins about a couple weeks ago, I guess, or a week ago.
I love how we word stories too. Like you can tell the difference in organizations when how you word things because Shams puts it. The Grizzlies have parted ways.
Right.
With head coach Taylor Jenkins. The other day it is the Denver Nuggets have fired head coach Michael Malone.
Although I thought it was weird because Shams, when he tweeted the Taylor one, I'm trying to find it now. He said something about Taylor. The Grizzlies have parted ways with Taylor Jenkins, a stunning development or something like that. And then when he did the Michael Malone one, he just said, "No, here, the Denver Nuggets have fired coach Michael Malone." Sources told ESPN.
Yeah,
not
it's a little,
like to me that's more stunning than the Taylor one.
Probably because, and I don't know him, but I have been around Taylor, and it could be a stunning development because Taylor Jenkins is like a super nice guy, right? Like Taylor's. I could totally see Michael Malone being a pain in the ass to deal with. Like, I could absolutely see that, whereas, like, Shams tweets it that way. He's like, deep down, he's like, I'm not surprised at all by this. Like, guy was taking subtle shots at the front office all season.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, as these two
got on his Dave Yeager.
As these two moves happen, we have for our top five today the next five. The next five to go in the NBA. The next five coaches that will be fired in the NBA. I'll go ahead and get started. Number one is Mike Budenholzer. Holy crap.
Yeah.
What a disaster the Phoenix Suns are.
Yeah.
Highest paid team in NBA history.
Just an absolute mess. So he's got to go. Nick Nurse has got to go from Philadelphia. They got to start over. They got to get rid of Embiid. They got to get rid of Paul George. They got to get a new coach. Willie Green, unfortunately, in New Orleans, I think is going to go. He just... they went through a disaster year like the Grizzlies did last year. They went through it this year, but I don't think he's going to survive it. Quinn Snyder, they just haven't done anything since they hired Quinn Snyder. They've just been fine.
Yeah.
I think it's time to move on. And Doc Rivers. We'll move on from Doc Rivers from the Milwaukee Bucks.
Huh.
That was a dumb change to begin with. All right, Lang.
I got Budenholzer number one, too. Won a title in Milwaukee, but just hasn't worked in Phoenix. And I've always heard he was going to be in line for the San Antonio gig if that came open. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Doug Christie, he's been 500, basically, 3 over 500 since he took over in Sacramento. But it's the Kings. They just cycle through coaches, so I assume sooner or later him. Quinn Snyder, same thing as you, Fish. Like, Atlanta's been okay, but it's easier to get rid of the coach than it is to get rid of the players. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they try something different there. Willie Green and Nick Nurse, both, I kind of have them in the same boat. Like, I guess they'd be on my list, but they've just both had rosters that were snake bit with injured players this year. And, like, you can't really blame them for the rosters being so hurt and banged up. Willie Green, I guess the Pelicans just haven't turned the corner the last few years, and maybe you think, oh, well, we'll move on. But Nick Nurse, and the other name I thought of, I told you, I put him as my honorable mention, Tom Thibodeau. Like, I don't think the Knicks would fire him, but they're 0-9 against the best 9 teams. I mean, the best 3 teams in the league. They got to play Cleveland, I think, again. But they haven't been able to get over that hump. The one thing about him is I think his agent was Leon Rose for a long time, and he's connected to the team president, so maybe he has a longer leash. But they're kind of stuck as far as being able to move players at this point. They traded 5 firsts for Mikal Bridges. So they can't really change the lineup so much. So the only thing they could change would be Thibodeau, although they all seem to like him. So I don't know. All right, CJ?
We can get my list started with Coach Bud. That Suns thing has got to go. Chris Finch, like the Jazz are bad.
He's the Timberwolves.
Timberwolves. There we go. I'm mixing up my coaches. Timberwolves haven't turned the corner the same way that the Willie Green and the Pelicans haven't. What was that, last year? Were they a 2 seed? You're like, oh, okay, we made the decision to move Cat, got Gobert, got Julius Randle, got Anthony Edwards. I think that he'll be one of the ones to go. We all got Quinn Snyder and Willie Green on there, and then Will Hardy is the Jazz coach. Been there 2 years. They're abysmal this year. Some of that may be by design, but if you want to get good, you can't have a culture of losing. And if the coach was there when all the losing happened, it's probably time to move on. Rosa.
All right, I'm going to go Budenholzer, Nick Nurse, Doc Rivers, Willie Green, Doug Christie. Thibodeau's interesting. Thibodeau's very interesting. Like, if they go out early in the playoffs, especially if they lost to Detroit in the first round, Detroit's beaten them twice at MSG this year, like, would they do a change?
I don't know.
You never know.
Yeah.
By the way, Roy McIlroy now 3 under par.
Yeah, he just almost holed out from like 120 yards out.
All right. Well, there you go. Our top 5 lists. It's now time for our UFL breakdown. CJ, tell us who we're betting this week. Tell us what's happened.
All right, so just a couple quick notes here before we get started. Workplace Lay.
All day, every day.
Manny Wilkins, quarterback for the Battlehawks, went 12 of 16 for 162 yards and 58 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, third most in the UFL, leads UFL in all-purpose yards, 5th in the UFL in total rushing yards. He's doing that from the quarterback position, leading the Battlehawks of St. Louis to have 3 of the top 5 rushers in the UFL right now. Yeah,
I watched the Battlehawks the other day.
They're good.
I was out at a local establishment, and the Battlehawks were on one of the TVs. Yeah.
Defenders Battlehawks is the game of the week, ladies and gentlemen. 2 undefeated teams. Winner is going to be 3-0. How about this for interesting? Not only is the under 7-1 so far in the UFL, the XFL division has 3 undefeated teams. The USFL division has 2 winless teams. So we're getting into division play right now. So Battlehawks, Defenders, first road game for the Defenders, who already have a win over the Stallions, the reigning champions. They are solid, only allowing 11.5 points per game. But that Battlehawks team led by that rushing game and a strong defense, only allowing 7.5 points per game. Go ahead, give me the Battlehawks minus the 6.5. So that's the first pick. We're going to hammer some of these unders. So we're going to go under in the Roughnecks versus Showboats game, 35.5. Both the Boats and the Roughnecks are 2-0 on the under so far this season. Boats are 0-2 against the spread, so we're not going to worry about a spread pick. We're just going to go with the under in that game. As far as the Brahmas and Panthers, we're also going to go under the 36.5 there. Renegades versus Stallions. Stallions seem to get on the right side, seem to figure some things out last week against the Panthers. They are now 1-1. Bob Stoops is the coach for the Renegades, though. And this is like big game, Bob. And this is a big game right here, playing the defending champions.
Yeah.
Give me the Renegades plus the 3.5 in that one.
Are the Stallions 0-2?
1-1.
1-1. Okay.
They beat the Panthers last week.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Stallions, really, really good. Battlehawks at home. Here's another little tidbit for you. At home. Forget the 2020 season because that season got canceled midway through. So 2023 till now, the Battlehawks are 8-2 at home in the UFL and the XFL.
They got a great crowd, too.
Yeah, they show up in St. Louis. And guess where that Defenders game is? In St. Louis.
Ooh, all right.
I feel like you can lock that down right there, Rob Fisher.
All right.
Lock that in there.
Sounds good.
Battlehawks 6.5.
Battlehawks 6.5. Locking it in. All right, free picks. Who's got free picks? Lang, you got a
I
free
already
pick
gave
for
you all
us?
my Masters picks.
Oh, you gave us the Masters picks. That's
I
right.
got lots of picks, but it's all Masters.
All right. Rose, you got any free picks?
I have no free picks.
Nothing? What do you got locked in on the Masters?
Nothing good right now.
Nothing?
Morikawa's doing okay, but there's nothing. No. I actually placed fewer bets this year. I only placed 4 bets, 2 on guys to win, and then a top 20 for Koepka, which he's playing terrible, and then a top 20 parlay of Rahm and Morikawa, which Rahm's not playing well. So, but yeah, I did not place that many bets this year.
Well, Rory just ripped a drive down the middle on 10, and he's drinking a protein shake.
Oh,
he's on his Bryson.
CJ, you got a pick?
If you want an extra UFL pick, I'll tell you what you can do. You can go ahead and take the Panthers laying the 5.5 against the Brahmas.
All right.
That's another good one.
I'm going with the Blue Jays tonight in Boston. You'll get even money on that one. Blue Jays in Boston tonight against the Red Sox, and taking the Washington Capitals tonight against the Carolina Hurricanes. Even money on that one as well. So take the Washington Capitals and Ovi against the Carolina Hurricanes. That's going to do it for us here on the Odds Couple on this Thursday afternoon. We'll be back with you again on Monday at 2 o'clock, so make sure you tune in then. For CJ, for Roser, for Lang, I'm Fish. Thanks for joining us. Good luck on your bets. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Monday here on the Odds Couple on Grind City Media.